Hi students, we're going to continue about learning about angles. In this lesson, we're learning about finding unknown measures of angles. What does that mean? So what we're going to learn is, for example, we have the line XOY, and then we want to find the angle XOP. So here we have this line YOX, and there is one line is going this way. So therefore it's making two angles, one here, another one here. This angle, which is YO, and this is P, is given. So the angle YOP is given, and it's 125 degrees. 125 degrees. And it's asking us, what is the other angle? XOP, or we can also call it POX. So how are we going to find out? We have to use and remember the rule that I was teaching you in the last lesson. The rule that we learned in the last lesson is that the total angles in a line is how much? 180 degrees. So it doesn't matter in between how many angles do we have. When we add these up, it must go to 180. So same rule is applied here. So we know from here to here is 180. And then we have this part, which is 125. So the only thing we need to do is to say 180, which is the total, minus 125, which is this angle, YOP. So which will be, when you minus it, you get 55 degrees. So this angle is 55. So the angle XOP equals to 55. So let's check our answers. So the way we check, we say, I have to get, if I add XOP plus the angle of YOP, it must give me 180 degrees, because from here you see the yellow line is 180. So let's see, let's put the numbers, punch in the numbers. XOP, we have 55, plus YOP, we have 125. Yes, we get 180. So this is correct. That's how you can check it very easily. Another example that we're going to do, we're going to call it B. It's asking find the measure of angle A. And what the picture we have one line straight, one line to the left, and one line upward. Okay, and then the angles we have, this one they call it A, and for the other ones we have this one 70, this one we have 140 degrees. So we're going to write our given Our givens are 70 and 140. Also, we know the angles, the total angles among a point, as we learned in the last lesson, has to be 360. So the sum of angle measured at the point, where you see the point here, has to give you 360 degrees. So that means if I add 70 plus 140 degrees plus A must gives me 360. Now we're looking for A, correct? So first we say 70 plus 140 minus 360 gives us 150. If you like to try and test it out, you can. So you say 70 plus 140 plus 150 equals how much? 360 degrees. Okay, so the angle A is 150. So you always have to go back to the rules that I taught you on the last lesson, in the peer review lesson that I was telling you. You have to memorize this because these are the rules that it's going to help you solving the problem. Another example. Example C. So it's telling us AOB and COD are lines. Okay? Find the measure of angle DOB. So I have to draw it for you so you can see what the question is asking you. So we have one line like this, another line this way. The center point is called O. They all have a name: D, B, C, and A. So I'm going to punch in the numbers. It's telling me, first of all, the angle AOC is given in the question and it's 65 degrees. So this one is given is 65. And the question is asking us to find angle DOB. This is the missing one. Remember, another rule that we learned is about the opposite angles. Remember, vertical opposite angles. The rule that applies on this is vertically opposite angles, which was explaining these two angles, the green one and the orange one, have the same measurements, correct? So this would be also 65. So DOB is also 65. And that's as far as it gets to your book. But I want to add into this question. For example, I was asking, what is the measure of DOA? Or also asking us, what's the measure for COB? Then what did you need to do? So challenge yourself and try to find these two angles. Another rule that you need to take is that we know all the angles around the circle is how much? 360. So knowing this rule, how are you going to solve for the angle DOA or COB? Now we learn how to apply the rules that we learned from the last video. Now I would suggest you to do the questions on page 95 and 96 and 97. Thank you for listening. Ask me any question that you have and let me know or comment below. See you soon.